All right. Welcome back to the podcast. Welcome back to Game and Compute. It's been a minute. It's been over a month. Happy New Year. Hope you all survived the holidays nicely. Yeah, it's definitely been a ride. I've definitely been busy. But I got a little bit of updates on what I'm starting to get to work on. So I'm no longer employed by my primary job source. I'm in between jobs, but currently still working on my second income. Well, I guess what will be my second income source, but at the moment I'm trying to build it up before I start working a full-time job. So currently I've saved up pretty much. I have about enough to live off of for about a year. I'm not going to take that much time outside of work, but I do want to build up the project I've been working on. So I'm back into dropshipping stores. Like, the first steps of this whole process were, move out from the house where I couldn't really live in a way where I could totally function and focus on career goals and things, and then get out of the career that was kind of not helpful for me. So I started taking a certain set of courses. Now I'm going to reveal what I'm doing more and more as I'm doing it. So since May, I moved out of that house. Since June, I moved back to LA. Since September, I started studying through a set of courses. I haven't taken the exam yet, but I finished studying this is my second week. Since I've been officially done with the course itself. So in that time period, I've been building up my LinkedIn and building up my network and learning different types of skills, and building up my just basically creating a form of a portfolio through projects. And so one project is this Shopify store. So I originally took Bieza's course. Found it very informative, helpful. Now, with his course alone, I believe I could have gotten quite far on things, but because I was working pretty much full-time up until December 30th of 2022, so almost the last day, the day before New Year's Eve, basically, since I was working all the way up until then, full-time, I wasn't able to go as fast as I wanted to since September with starting the store. So I'm gonna record a series of short episodes, some little tidbits about things that I'm kind of finding out along the way. Now, I have a history with drop shipping. I have a history through eBay, through also doing different types of phone repairs and things like that, and reselling things through Mercari and through OfferUp and just a lot of reselling, honestly, which just reminds me I have some Amazon returns to take care of this week. But yeah, I've basically, since September, been working on this store, purchased a domain name, did the research behind, products that I wanted to sell, tested them out through eBay and whatnot. That for me is a big way to test. But this store is different because it is drop shipping, and it is taking place in 2023. So the last time I did like legit drop shipping was before, probably around 2017, maybe 2018, probably around that range of time. And things have definitely changed significantly since then. So I'm going to be getting into some of those topics. So the first thing I came across, I did really good with Bieheza's class. Now, this isn't the course that I am taking to take an exam to, take a final. And to get a certification for a different type of work. That's not the same thing. This class is specifically designed for drop shipping and to create an income stream. And I want a different income stream in addition to a full-time job, something I can scale myself. And while I have this time off, I want to try to do that. And so that's what I've been doing. I thought I would finish it in September. But one of the first things I'm noticing, I learned a lot through Bieheza's class. It was a great class. I kind of went rogue on my end and didn't really follow exactly the details after a certain point. Like, I was able to build the site, basically, get everything connected, and then I kind of went another route and hired out somebody to help me finish the store. And so they've included apps, and the main issue that came up first was this PayPal hold. So that is the very first barrier. I didn't really come across too many barriers, honestly, up until now. I think the first barrier I may have come across was that I purchased a Godaddy domain from someone who had already had it, and then that domain was connected to a like a different hosting that wasn't GoDaddy hosting, and I was trying to connect my Shopify store to that GoDaddy domain once I got it. And so it took a couple days to get access to the domain name. It wasn't like immediate, and I had already started working on the store, and then the store had like a different name from the domain, and then I was able to eventually kind of get those connected, and had some issues, and wasn't sure about the hosting. So that was the first issue. I'm going to talk about that PayPal issue next, but basically I used GoDaddy support to kind of walk me through what to do. Now, the thing is about the GoDaddy's customer support, yes, they were helpful, and yes, it fixed the problem, and they shed light on what the main issue was, but kind of their short form of typing was a little confusing for me. They would say stuff like send Shopify IP, and it's like, what? Like, what does that mean? Like, they wanted me to like send them, the Shopify IP address, and like I kind of know what that means, but it was just kind of like, if you're just getting like, if you're messaging and that's kind of the messaging you're receiving, just like send this, and then they're like, are you sending it now? And I'm like, oh, like I didn't know that you were waiting for me to send it, or like I'm looking for it. Like I wasn't like, so little things like that I had to like find out how to do. And so that was the first barrier that came up. That has been resolved. I'll be talking about other barriers as they arise and seeing if they completely get resolved. But I guess the next one would be the PayPal issue, also with Dropshipping, and that's an app through Shopify that's connected to AliExpress. Some issues there. Some issues with the parcel app for shipping information. And so these three things, they'll be coming up. But that's why I've been so absent. I've been working on a lot, and I still record podcasts, just not on here. Like, I haven't had anything to say. I'm like, what am I gonna say? Like, I talked everybody's ear off about wanting to quit my job and how much I was burning out. And from that point, it was kind of like, okay, what more do I need to say? I'm still in this job, so I had nothing else to say. It took me basically 3 months to pretty much end my work, and study enough to get to a point where I felt like I can end my job, and kind of be in a point where I have other things kind of in the works. And so that's why during September, I kind of hit the ground running with the classes, with the store and all that kind of stuff. And it took me a couple months to kind of pretty much start closing out my work and opening up these new doors for myself. And so closing one door, opening two doors. It's all in progress, but I'll keep reporting back. But for now, thanks for listening.